You're sitting in your car, music's off, engine's running, and a cop is leaning into your window, license and registration already in his hand. Everything feels routine until it isn't. Turn off your engine, hand me your keys. 4 words, that's all it took. And what you say or don't say in the next 3 seconds. That's what determines whether you roll away with your rights intact or hand a police officer total control over your car, your stuff, and your freedom. No cap. Most people mess this up. Bad. And today, I'm breaking down the exact words to use, the moves to make, and the Supreme Court cases that have your back, so you never get caught slipping again. Why cops ask for your keys? It's not what you think. Here's something they absolutely do not tell you in driver's ed. When a cop asks for your keys, that is not a safety thing. That is not standard protocol. That is a specific, trained property control technique, and officers learn this stuff at the academy. Think about it from their side. They've got you pulled over for maybe running a stop sign, but they don't know what else you got going on in that car. Drugs, weapons, evidence. The second you hand over those keys, you've given them something way more valuable than a piece of metal. You've handed them control. You can't leave. You can't lock up your stuff. You can't stop anything from happening. You thought you were being cooperative. They know you just gave them the entire encounter on a silver platter. What actually happens when you hand over the keys? Let me paint this picture for you, because this is where people really don't get it. The moment you say, "Sure, officer, here you go." Legal experts consider that an abandonment of property. Not cooperation, abandonment. You just went from the driver to a passenger in your own vehicle. They control the ignition. They control the locks. They control whether you leave. That's not a traffic stop anymore. That's a custodial interrogation situation, and you walked right into it. The officer is completely unbothered, by the way. This is Tuesday for them. They ask for keys every single day in the most nonchalant, routine-sounding way possible, specifically so you don't realize what you're agreeing to. The law is actually on your side, okay? Here's where it gets real interesting, because the law is built in your favor, and police are banking on you never figuring this out. There is no Supreme Court ruling that says cops can take your keys during a traffic stop. Zero. Let me say that again for the people in the back. There is no law requiring you to hand over your keys. Now, Pennsylvania versus Mimms? Yes, officers can ask you to step out of the vehicle for officer safety. Arizona versus Johnson? Yes, they can do protective sweeps under certain circumstances. But neither of those, not one, gives them the right to seize your keys. Federal circuit courts? Same answer. State Supreme Courts? Same answer. When an officer asks for your keys, that is a request. Not a command, not a law. A request, which means, legally, you can say no. Why your actions work against you. Here's the trap within the trap. Officers don't just need your keys, they need probable cause to search your car. And your actions? That's the easiest evidence they'll ever collect. You hand the keys over voluntarily. That's cooperation on record. Now they can take their sweet time running your plates, your license, your background, and while they're doing all of that, they're also watching you, studying you, waiting for you to slip up, look nervous, or say something dumb. And since they've still got your keys, there's no escape. You're just sitting there, trapped, while they fish for a reason to go further. It's a whole system, fam. And it starts with that one simple ask. The exact words to say. Officer, my keys will remain with me during this encounter. That's it. That's the move. But let me break it down word by word because every piece of this matters. Officer, you're being respectful, calm, professional, no attitude. This is important. My keys. You are asserting ownership. This is your property. You have a constitutional right to that property. You are not giving up that right. Will remain with me. You are making it crystal clear. You do not consent to this officer controlling, reaching for, or accessing your keys under any circumstance. During this encounter, you understand this is a temporary stop. You're not combative. You know the law, and you know that anything beyond this moment requires something extra, like actual probable cause, respectful, firm, legal. That's the energy. When the officer pushes back, and they will, real talk, the officer is not just going to go, okay, cool, have a nice day. They're going to push. Here's exactly what they'll say. All right, if you won't give me the keys, I feel my safety is at risk. Step out of the vehicle. Here's what you do. No drama. Stay calm. Turn off the engine. Take those keys. Put them in your pocket or zip them in a bag. Then, and this is critical, as you get out of the car, lock every door, roll up every window, lock it all down. Now, if they keep pressing, I need access to those keys for officer safety. Here's your next line. Officer, I understand your safety concerns, but you'll need either separate probable cause or a warrant to access my keys. That is 100% legally accurate. Officer safety and your property rights are two separate legal categories. Don't let anyone blur that line. Why locking the car actually matters. Some of y'all might be thinking, does it really matter if I lock the doors? Yeah, it really does. And here's why. Prosecutors, if this ever goes to court, will argue that by leaving your keys in the car and leaving it unlocked, you implied consent for a search. That's a trick move that has worked on people before. Lock the car. Pocket the keys. Don't give them that argument. If things escalate further, if the situation keeps escalating, if they're trying to detain you, arrest you, or you just feel things going sideways, here's what you say, and say nothing else. Officer, I am exercising my right to remain silent. I do not consent to any searches of myself, my belongings, or my vehicle. I will not answer further questions without my attorney present. Say it clearly. Say it calmly. Then actually stay quiet. This is where most people mess up. They invoke their rights and then keep talking. Don't. Look, knowing your rights doesn't make you a bad person or a suspicious one. It makes you someone who paid attention. The law is actually written to protect you. You just gotta know what it says. Save this video. Share it with your people. Because one day, somebody in your circle is gonna be sitting in their car when an officer leans in and says those 4 words. And now they'll know exactly what to do. And if a cop ever says, I need to pat you down, I've got a full video breaking down the exact script for that too. Link's right there. Don't sleep on it. I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. Full disclaimer below and in the description. Stay safe out there.